Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
White or wheat, classic or old-fashioned, with or without sesame seed. With so many choices, selecting the right bun for your perfectly grilled burgers, hot dogs, and brats can seem overwhelming. Relax. The bakers at Village Hearth have made your choice easy. With state-of-the-art bakeries and facilities throughout the Midwest, our buns are baked and delivered by folks just like you. So when you see the familiar red Village Hearth logo on the package, you'll be selecting the freshest, most flavorful buns available. Village Hearth buns, baked locally, delivered fresh daily.
Sometimes it's just a whoops, sometimes it's a oh no, and sometimes it's an all-out ah! Whatever it is, J&J Truck and Auto Body can take care of it with traditional methods or paintless dent repair because they are a PPG certified and iCar Gold class shop with ASE certified technicians. Plus, they work with your insurance company, saving you time. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
J&J Truck and Auto Body, 100%.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Chicago Bears announced that quarterback Caleb Williams has officially signed his rookie contract, while NBC Sports reports that Williams asked the Bears to agree to not use the franchise tag at the end of his rookie deal, but Chicago declined. Team USA basketball improves to 3-0 after beating Serbia in an Olympic tune-up in Abu Dhabi 105-79. They will now face South Sudan in London on Saturday. The Athletic reports that Bucks forward Chris Middleton had arthroscopic surgeries on both his ankles this offseason, but he is expected to be ready for the start of this season. Hall of Fame forward Cheryl Miller will serve as the coach of the WNBA team during the league's All-Star game on Saturday in Phoenix, while Olympic coach Cheryl Reeve will lead Team USA. And the SEC may be interested in adding a 9th conference game after all, but a decision will not be made until after seeing the new 12-team playoff. I'm Monty Bolaños.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in, everybody. How are you today? Wednesday edition of the program. We're back and ready from our downtown studio. High Energy Wednesday. Can we have it? Let's bring it a little bit. Come on, South Dakota Sports Talk Show is ready. It is always a great day in the Black Hills. You know that. The Nate Brown Show back on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. On the radio side, remember you can stream us anywhere. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. The live stream of the station, the show right there. Brand new online player. I know it's been down a couple of times. We got it, I think. Technology. We love it. We love it. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. Thanks for giving us the heads up. Brand new online player is up. Also, we're streaming live now at Nate Brown Show on X, Twitter. Premium stream right there, so you can find us, follow the show, interact with us. We also, you can answer questions of the day on there. It's good stuff. You can see the guest lineup. So if you're not following the show on X, Twitter, a good place to be, at Nate Brown Show, and then you can watch us on your phone right there, live streaming now. And finally, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on YouTube. So a lot of ways you can listen. We appreciate you. Thanks to our sponsors for making local sports coverage possible on Fox Sports Rapid City, and we've got some good stuff tonight on the program. Let's get going. The Nate Brown Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Urgent Care. As a matter of fact, just had to pay him a visit. It happens. Go to Black Hills Urgent Care if you suffered injury, maybe you get sick. That's the team that'll get you back up to speed. Black Hills Urgent Care, fast, affordable, convenient. That's the place where me and my family go every time. They're on Mountain View Road on the west side, Bacon Park, also on Haynes Avenue. Black Hills Urgent Care is the faster way to get better. Schedule on your phone before you go in. BHUcare.com with the letter U. BHUcare.com. Remember it. Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better. Wednesday show lineup. I'll look at it, and then we'll get started here. Some interesting discussions to be had. How about Craig Maddock tonight? Wednesday, it is Craig on from Sioux Falls. East River meets West River. We've got him. SDPB Sports. Got a lot to discuss with Craig today on the South Dakota sports side. Mike Mendelson's going to join us, the PGA Pro from Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club up in Spearfish. We're going to preview the Open. Mike Mendelson on, the golf pro at Elkhorn Ridge. Get his take on the Open. Royal Troon starting tomorrow. Eli Ong is on tonight. First time he's been on the program. Chicago Bears reporter, WGN-TV, Chicago. We're going to talk Bears today. So I'm telling you, man, we're in good shape, hopping around the NFL. I think we're going to make it to every city by the time the season starts. So we're in good shape. We had a good report last night from Big D, Dallas, on the Cowboys. Tonight it's the Bears. Eli Ong is in from WGN. Zach Barnett's at SEC Media Days. He's live right now in Dallas. We'll talk to Zach Barnett, Football Scoop. And finally, Frank Schwab, national NFL writer, Yahoo Sports. Packed lineup. I think the Wednesday show looks good. Great guest. Appearances and some good content for you. Well, you be the judge. We'll try and make it work, okay? 720-1067 is our number. If you want to join the program, I'm ready. 720-1067, our number. Studio line open. Barron's Wilson text line always ready for you as well. Text the show. Easy to do. Be a part of the program that way and join the conversation on the Barron's Wilson text line. 720-1067. That's the number. All right, so I want to get into this because if you've listened to the show over the years, you know that there was a time where I was talking about the new Summit Arena a lot, okay? And I felt strongly about it. I feel passionate about it. I love the community. Our motto of the show is it's always a great day in the Black Hills. Like, I believe that. That's not a shtick. I love the Black Hills. I came here over 20 years ago. And it's not like I've been I came here from California. I'm not I'm not one of those guys. I was from Montana, okay? So same part. Similar, right? I'm from the heartland here, from Montana. Then I went to Washington, D.C., and that's where I started my sports career for NBC and the George Michael Sports Machine. Got some great experience covering pro sports, the whole thing. I'm like, I'm heading back to the upper Midwest, and I've been here over 20 years, and so I love Rapid City, love the Black Hills. It's so unique. I sell it wherever I go, whoever I'm talking to and meeting. I sell this place big time, and I believe in it. So when I talked about the Civic Center at that time, going through this change and figuring out what's next for Rapid City, I believed in the Summit Arena and the investment from the Vision Fund, okay? Number one, I want to have a little lesson on the Vision Fund if people aren't aware of it. Many of you are, but some people don't know the deal. The Vision Fund was forward thinking, okay? That's how the Civic Center was started, okay? And forward thinking of what can we do to enhance our community with this 1 cent sales tax? And what can we bring to this community? We are lucky, in my opinion, to have the Vision Fund. And if people say, well, hang on, that's another tax. It's a 1 cent sales tax. We benefit so much from the tourism business. Why not have people that visit, the millions that come through here, why not have them contribute to the Vision Fund, which is what they do through the 1 cent sales tax? I think it's a beauty. And the reason I say that, I talk to people like in Montana, they don't have a sales tax. They're like, oh, they're lucky. They have an income tax. They don't get any benefit like for communities off the income tax. It is what it is. So there's communities like Billings, big market, big city. I lived there for a while. Ran a sports station up there for a while. They look at it and say, Rapid City is lucky. They have the forward thinking, a Vision Fund. What should we do with the Vision Fund? So there's a big chunk that needed to be ready for the new arena. Now, we can debate today, okay, and I'm going to tell you where this is going with the sports side of it, but we can debate today, was the new arena the right call? Are they doing good enough booking shows and events and conventions and whatever? That's a debate. That's not a question of should we have done it. I really believe that. So there's things you have to do in a community when entrepreneurs, professionals, business owners, young families, they're looking at communities going, who's looking, who's thriving? You don't want to just get stuck in the mud. So you got to do the right things. The Summit Arena was the right thing. Could we do a better job with it? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I've said before, should we probably have a few better events there? Probably. It's not so easy that you're like, oh, how come we don't do this and this and this? I don't know. I'm not in the booking business, that side of it, with shows and all that. We don't have a team in there. The marshals, went out and the whole thing. So there's issues on that side of it. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have done it, in my opinion. So I was out in front on that heavy and said, the Vision Fund is for things like this. Send it to the vote of the citizens, and let's see what happens. They did it. We didn't do it the first time, and I said that first time it was a massive building. It was a Pepsi Center size ball arena like Denver. I mean, that's how big that was going to be. Indoor football and the whole thing. Too much. We bit off too much. Citizens said no. Came back. I think we did the right thing. We have a beautiful facility. If you haven't been there, concerts, games, whatever, it's great. Can we use it more? I think so. That's another discussion for another day. It honestly is. We can do, I think, better with the Summit Arena. But we have it, and a chunk of the Vision Fund has went to that to pay that down, and so we're all set. Well, we still have money in the Vision Fund for Rapid City. And I bring this up on the Nate Brown Show today because I wonder where sports, facilities, and projects are going to fit into this next steps. And if you've been watching some of the coverage, some of the news, there's a plan potentially for the Vision Fund to change a little bit, not to have a citizen committee. There used to be citizens who'd make up the Vision Fund committee. They'd evaluate the projects. You'd have nonprofits. You'd have groups come in front of the committee. Here's what we need. Here's why we're doing it. Here's how it benefits the community. And then the citizen committee would select, and you get this much, $2 million and $500,000, and you'd go through the process. That's how it was done. There's a potential change that may come, an ordinance change that would not have the citizen committee, but more keep it in-house from the city side, the city council side, capital projects, things like that. Okay? Now, this is my question as I open the Nate Brown Show this Wednesday. Where does sports fit in as we move this forward? I don't know how it's going to go. This Vision Fund plan may end up on the November ballot. From the last story I saw at KOTA TV, they put it out and said this group's been getting signatures here in the community, and they're going to put it on the ballot to decide, should we keep the citizen committee and the plan how it is, or should we go no citizen committee and kind of have the city council and people evaluating it that way. So that's the Vision Fund argument. How should we have it set up? My question is, with sports, are we going to have sports in this discussion? Even if it stays with the citizen committee, are we going to have them look at different sports projects, and how are we going to do that? Because in the past, we've done sports projects. There's some groups that have done really well. We got this and that. There's some groups that haven't gotten anything. And so it was kind of a pick and choose. You're going to get this, I guess, and then we're going to go this route this way, and we're going to do this sport this time. It was a pick and choose thing. I'm not saying it was totally wrong. I know there was complaints. Why did this group get this group get that? Now, if you go the city route, let's say voters vote on it, they're going to say, well, no more citizen committee. Let's say this happens. No more citizen committee. Where does sports land in that as far as improving the community? Capital projects, parks and rec. Where does sports land in that? Because I'm here to tell you, we need better sports facilities. We need better sports facilities. We've done a study. The group came in, did a big study, and said, you have a great market. You need better facilities. Where are we going to go with this? That's what I'm looking at as I start the show today, because youth sports tourism brings in dollars. Casper, Wyoming just made $35 million this past year in Casper, Wyoming from sports tournaments. I don't think many people want to go to Casper, but I'll take Rapid City. Where are we going to be? Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
You know, Nate, I watched one of my kids' last soccer tournament. She's done. But
Okay.
up in Blaine, Minnesota, St. Paul area, 65 soccer fields, a football stadium, and I say stadium. What was it, 11 hockey rinks?
Yeah, I haven't been to that one, Steve, but I've heard about it. I haven't been to that Blaine one, but it's massive.
Oh, and it's so well run. Parking's parking, Nate. You know how it is. You got one kid on one field, and then you got like the other half mile away. So, you get what you get. But I don't want to get rid of the advisory committee.
You don't.
Even though I disagree with a few things, but we should have our own football stadium and our own track. Central, each high school, come on.
No, I'm with you on
Omaha
that.
can do it. I think you guys can do it.
Yeah, some people say the schools, and that's kind of a separate thing, funding the schools, but some people say the schools should have a stadium.
How many track meets we could hold?
Sure. No, if you build a really nice stadium, you'd be in pretty good shape, I think. You could attract some stuff.
Well, then we could quit funding tech. We could quit funding this. We could quit funding that. We have our own.
No, I understand
and
that.
We get all the money.
And my question today is, who decides? That's my question. That's kind of what this Vision Fund argument's about. Who decides who gets what? And that's my question.
If it involves a certain amount, we should have it to a vote. Post 22, I don't think that could have passed a vote. Getting that $5 million stadium.
Interesting. But you said the advisory committee, like the committee of citizens, is that good enough? Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, as long as they're elected.
Oh, elected. Okay.
Appointed.
Oh, okay.
Let's not have the same people every other year. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
That way you can get rid of, my buddy's kids and they play this sport.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, the good old boys club. I know.
But if you give Post 22 $5 million, why can't we give some arts and theater $5 million?
Yeah, I know.
That's where you're going with the vote.
Yeah. All right, man.
And here's the clue. One quick one.
Okay.
338 million people in the world, or in the country, U.S. All right, 20 million, 30 million watch sports. So when you turn it over to the citizens to vote,
look out.
You got to remember that.
Look out. I know. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting in. So my question is, let's see here. We got some comments coming in on the listener text line. Listener text, Sioux Falls doesn't have a Vision Fund either, and it took them 10 years ago to even get the Premier Center. Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, everybody talks about, Rapid City's behind. No, and I understand we are in certain categories. We don't have a billionaire that has a bunch of money to go around. We don't. I mean, sorry. But the Vision Fund has kept us in front of most places earlier than later. But here's what's happened. We have now shifted our focus. We built the new Summit Arena. It was too late. We did it, but it was too late. Premier Center finally came on board. We didn't change enough. We had the premier facility. The Rushmore Plaza Civic Center is the best facility by far in South Dakota. It was that way for a long time. We waited. We We did the Summit Arena, and some people would say, well, now we're behind in the youth sports category. Youth sports is the ticket. It is. It honestly is. If you had a youth sports facility in this town, my argument is it would generate more sales tax, more economic impact than the Summit Arena. I'm not talking the Civic Center campus. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there. It's outstanding. The Summit Arena, we got dialed in on that. I believe that was the smart play. You have to have it, otherwise we're just going to wither. I mean, the Barnett Arena, that was we were done. It was over. So you had to do this. We just got to get ahead of the game. And so now we're in this spot with the Vision Fund. What's next? The Vision Fund is an absolute gold vision, forward-thinking opportunity. I mean, it's absolute gold. It's been a winner. Are we doing it the right way? That's what they're going to debate now. They had the city council meeting the other night, this week, and the signatures submitted, and it looks like it's going to go to the ballot. Should we have the citizen committee still selecting projects in the arts and the nonprofits and sports, or should the city kind of look at it and say, we're going to take that ordinance out, and now we're going to focus on city projects, capital projects, some of the infrastructure pieces. Where does sports fit in there? That's not my debate today. My debate is, if you're spending money on sports, who should decide how you do it? Who should decide how you do it? That's my question of the day. Nate Brown Show getting started this Wednesday. Listener text, we need the Vision Fund when you don't have a billionaire like Sioux Falls. Invest in your youth. Somebody did for us. I'm with you on that. Let me throw some numbers out here. Okay? Casper, I just mentioned that a little while ago if you missed that. This just came out in Casper. Visit Casper CEO. It's Casper, Wyoming. They shouldn't be able to touch us. With Rapid City and the Black Hills, Casper shouldn't be able to touch us. Casper, Wyoming, this past fiscal year, brought in an estimated $35.1 million into the economy just on sports. And they went through what they had, soccer and state tournaments and wrestling, and so they went through the list. Same type of stuff we do. But they shouldn't even touch us. Casper's fine. I'm not going to pick on... I spent Thanksgiving in Casper. Give me a break. So it's fine. But they shouldn't even be able to touch us. $35.1 million. So I got to looking, and I said, I want to talk to some folks here today. Where's Rapid City at on sports tourism? Where's our economic impact estimates? I've got some estimates that were submitted here to me today. These are estimates. Our year's not done. Through June, our estimated sports economic impact through tournaments and events through June has been close to $25 million. So when I say Casper shouldn't touch us, I think we're going to beat Casper. They had $35.1 million for the year. We're halfway through, a little over halfway through now. We're already close to $25 million estimate, okay? These are, you look at some of the soccer tournaments that have went on, it's close to almost $12 million economic impact themselves, just in that one sport. And that's not softball and basketball and wrestling and the other stuff. So sports, here's why sports tourism is important. It brings people here. That's why we need projects. I'll always sell it this way. You invest in sports facilities, they then have a return on the investment. That doesn't mean I don't want to fund this great cause, this great nonprofit. That doesn't mean I don't want to do that. Are we going to change the process to kind of streamline it and figure out, okay, there's still ways to fund the nonprofits or this cause or that cause, but I always want to make sure sports is in that category of, well, I don't know about this because we didn't like that project, or there's some people that don't like sports, so we're not going to do that. Billings, Montana tried to do a sports facility. They have nothing. I've been up there. I lived up there a long time. They have nothing. It's a huge market. They don't even host any youth basketball tournaments. No, honestly, I still talk to people up there, and I look at it. They come down to Wyoming, South Dakota. They go to tournaments like that because they don't have one facility with 6 courts, 4 courts. They got to put one in the high school, one over here, so they don't even hardly do any tournaments in a market like that. So they decided we're going to do a brand new community center, community, sports, and we're going to have tournaments, and then the community can use it. I think something Rapid City, I think that's a great plan. What do you think the Billings voters said? They killed it. I mean, it wasn't even close. And I'm going, oh boy. So you got to be careful with this. The Vision Fund's smart. I don't know if every single person, if they get to have a voice, every single person, oh yeah, I want to do this sports facility, because they don't get it. They don't know the story and the kickback, the sports tourism numbers. I bet you in Casper, Wyoming, they're like, we could do $35.1 million into the community through sports in a year? Yeah. And Rapid City can do even more than that. Who do you think should decide to fund sports? Who should decide to fund sports? Facilities, projects, okay? That's my question. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
Thanks, Nate. I'm a longtime listener, and what I notice about sports is what hurts Rapid City is the hotel fees.
Okay, turn down your radio just a touch.
Yep.
The hotel fees. Okay.
Yeah, and I know there's a couple years ago in a big softball tournament, and rooms were real expensive, and the hotels wouldn't even donate rooms for the umpires.
Okay.
And I mean, then you have these organizations paying a lot of money just to house these people, and it'd kind of be nice, I think, if we're looking at how can we put a hotel tax on those for these sports activities.
I think it's a great point, actually, because if you got the tax, that's built in from a hotel side. But I know what you're saying, the rates. We tried doing a state track meet here. I remember that was, 2 or 3 years ago. State track teams couldn't even get rooms. It was too expensive on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, my perception is that the hotels feel there's enough tourism in here, and maybe if there are more hotels, I know when we do different sports, you have to stay in certain hotels, and that kind of funds the organization through that.
Right.
I think that's the thing. I think there's a lot to offer here, but hotel prices kind of push down on those activities.
No, I got you on that. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate that. That's fair. At times, and here's the thing. Here's my idea. Okay, it's just me. And there's been a facility study by this outside group. That's their job, to look at markets. What do you have? What do you need? What's your climate? What's your attraction? The whole thing. They said the same thing I thought would work. It's kind of a common sense sometimes still prevails today, but I look at it and said, we need an indoor facility because we don't need people here in May through September. I mean, people come here anyway. And there's great tournaments. Don't get me wrong. Softball just had a great one a couple weeks ago. So there's great events in the summer, but the hotels don't need it. The businesses don't even really need it. Okay? We're going to have a little thing called the Sturgis Rally here in 2 weeks, right? So we need an indoor facility for volleyball, wrestling, basketball, indoor soccer. The list goes on. And I think it has to be a community facility with a piece there that the community will still get to use it, practices, certain aspects on that side. Not just, this is just a tournament facility. That doesn't work. So it's got to be indoor. It's got to be hard courts, maybe with a little bit of turf if you can make it big enough. I don't know. In a perfect world, that's the kind I would want. That's what you need in Rapid City. But who decides what gets built? My question of the day, is it the elected city council, the elected leaders? Is that what you would want? The citizen committee, okay, they're informed, they're educated, right? They've been appointed, not elected, appointed citizen committee. Or when you have projects, does it have to go to an all citizens vote? Like sports projects, facilities, an all citizens vote. Well, I'm not talking Summit Arena level. You have to have a citizen vote on that. Okay, that's Summit Arena level. I'm talking you're going to put in a turf complex. Are you going to get a citizen vote on that? That's my question of the day. What would you want? 720-1067. Text us there as we get rolling. Frank Schwab's in, NFL writer, kicking off the show next.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Santa in the pool? Oh, my. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July 2024 event is so great that even Santa is shocked. 20% off, no money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. No payments until 2026. Windows, patio, and entry doors from Renewal by Anderson. And Renewal's Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Imagine no payments until 26. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. It's Christmas in July at Renewal by Anderson. It's so good even Santa is shocked.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Pomp's Tire Service is your low-price headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires manufactured direct and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $265 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $160 in rebates on Bridgestone, or up to $150 in rebates on Firestone. Pomp's Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offers end July 31st. See store for details. Visit us online at pompstire.com. Pomps, we know tires and service. You should know Pomps.
Need somewhere to go for a quick bite to eat for lunch? Murphy's has you covered with a half sandwich and soup lunch special, plus daily specials to get you fueled up and ready for the rest of the day. Meet and eat for lunch at Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in Wednesday program. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you checking in. We're live on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. Trying to jump around the NFL. We're going to go to every market with a NFL reporter. Every market. I got to put my list down so I don't forget anybody. Tonight, it's the Chicago Bears. We'll go to Eli Ong, WGN. Covers the Bears timely as well. Caleb Williams signing his deal. First, let's go NFL around the league. Frank Schwab's on, NFL writer, yahoosports.com. Find him on Twitter, X at Yahoo Schwab. Frank, good to have you back. How are you?
Doing good, Nate. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for the time. Let me ask you, first, I'll go with the Caleb Williams thing. I didn't think it was that big a deal. Everyone's like, oh, he hasn't signed his deal. Oh, my gosh, what's taking so long? He does the deal. The headline is, he asked them to not franchise tag him in the last year. They said, nah, we're going to leave that option there. What do you make of it?
I give Caleb, I guess his father, from all reports, credit for trying to change the NFL structure, because it is unfair to, these rookies especially in many ways. But it's not going to happen. This is just how it goes, and he doesn't have the leverage to really change things as much as he would like. So, you take your shot, you see what you can do. But, the fact is he's signed before camp starts, not a big deal. But, I don't know if we've heard the last of, Caleb Williams trying to leverage things where he can change the system for guys. He's tried to do this multiple times now. So, we'll see where it goes from here. But right now, another thing that maybe could have been a story, but now is a non-story because he's in camp and he can get started on the work of having a great rookie season.
Frank Schwab in tonight, yahoosports.com, national NFL writer. Headline out of the league. Each NFL team earned over $402 million in national revenue. They split about $13 billion. 7.5% increase from last year. What does it tell us about the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, and this is why, the latest team sale was for $7 billion. It's good business to be in the NFL. The NFL is, we all know the popularity, and it just keeps getting more popular because I think that it's the one thing people have kind of flocked to as this is a sports thing that I can do every week. And it doesn't take I love the NBA, right? I love the Milwaukee Bucks. That's where I'm from. I can't watch every single Milwaukee Bucks game. It's impossible. But if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you usually watch every Denver Broncos game. It's something you can devote your total time to, and with that goes fantasy football and betting and all that kind of stuff. So the popularity of the NFL, it's not guaranteed to last forever. I mean, 50 years ago, horse racing and boxing were the most popular sports in America, right? Nothing's guaranteed to last forever, but the NFL is as immune to any market fluctuations as anything really in America almost. It's astonishing to me how the NFL just, even in this fractured media landscape where everybody's on their phones and there's 8 million different entertainment options, the NFL just keeps growing, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon because even if I don't have the highest opinion of all of the 32 owners in the league, they have a product that's nearly impossible to screw up.
I look at it, Frank, there was almost a $30 million increase in the salary cap per team from the previous year, almost $30 million increase. So that's going to keep going up. Does that mean like the Cowboys, for example, are going to be able to go, Dak Prescott, we can do like an average of $60 million a year, and we can still do CeeDee Lamb and maybe Micah Parsons, I'm not sure. I mean, is the salary cap going to be workable for some $60 million QBs and then some high-paid wide receivers?
Very interesting, and I think that they'll try. And look, the salary cap's only going to keep going up. It's not going to go down. I don't believe so anyway, unless something happens, in the country that leads to some kind of economic downfall. And so when you look at it that way, the Cowboys could get creative with that and just say the cap's going to go up. We'll be fine. But at the same time, the history of using a percentage of your salary cap on a quarterback is it's really, really hard to win a Super Bowl. I think if you're over 15% of your cap, Patrick Mahomes is the only really one who's done it since 1994, and he's Patrick Mahomes. So there still is risk in paying Dak Prescott blank check, $60 million, $65 million, whatever he's going to ask for. But at the same time, with the cap going up, it makes it a little more feasible that the Cowboys could figure all this out and keep Lamb and maybe keep Parsons too. They certainly want to. Why wouldn't they? They're three of the best players in the NFL. But the cap going up certainly doesn't hurt their chances to do that.
Let's talk a couple of wide receivers. Frank Schwab in tonight on the Nate Brown Show. Follow him at Yahoo Schwab on X, yahoosports.com. He's been putting out his rankings of all of his NFL teams. Brandon Ayuk, I don't know. I mean, I think he's a good player. Requests a trade, wants a better deal. I mean, the 49ers, they don't really have to do anything, right? He's requesting a trade. What would you do?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, I get it. I get why Brandon Ayuk's frustrated. I get he's trying to do anything he can to leverage his situation. But at the end of the day, if the San Francisco 49ers say, hey, Brandon, we're sorry, we're not trading you. We are Super Bowl favorites this year. We are no closer to winning a Super Bowl without you. We need you for this year for a Super Bowl run, and we know you're not sitting out and just skipping out on $14.1 million in checks. So it's in our best interest to get together. You have a great year. We win a Super Bowl. We'll figure out next offseason when it comes. I just don't. What else is there? It's not like the 49ers heard his trade request and we're like, oh my God, we got to trade him now. Like there's no other option. They probably just said, yeah, okay, we get it. You're not happy. There's nothing we could do about that, though. It's just we're just going to play this year out, and whatever happens, happens. But this is it. You have no leverage. And it stinks for a guy like Brandon Ayuk. Like he's making $14 million a year, which is obviously a lot of money in the real world. But contemporaries of his are making 30, and if he was on the open market, he would get 30. I have at least 25. I mean, so he is underpaid for what other guys in his position have done, but. There's just nothing. This is just the system. We talked about Caleb Williams trying to change the system. This is part of the unfairness of it, that Brandon Ayuk's in his 5th year in the NFL, and he still can't hit the open market. He might not be able to hit the open market next year. If the 49ers use a franchise tag. So good on him using whatever leverage he thinks he might have, but I don't see them trading him. I just, why? Why would they trade him now unless somebody comes with just a crazy offer that they can't refuse? the San Francisco 49ers are much better off in their chase for a Super Bowl with Brandon Ayuk in the lineup. So I just think he's going to have to suck it up and play this year, as kind of cold-hearted as that might sound.
Where does he land for you? Because I'm looking at him. He's a nice player, he is, but it's not a Justin Jefferson, not a CeeDee Lamb, right? I mean, where does he land for you? Like top 5, top 10?
I'd say between 10 and 15. But you can make an argument he sneaks into the top 10. He really is that talented. I mean, that 49ers offense has a million options, and he still went for 1,400 yards last year, and he was a big part of what they did. He's fantastic, and I think he'd be a number one on most teams in the NFL, maybe not Minnesota or Cincinnati, but Dallas. Most teams in the NFL, he'd be their number one guy. And if he does end up hitting the open market, I do think he's going to get close to a Justin Jefferson contract. Most guys don't hit the open market when they're that good, but this might be a unique circumstance. But at the end of the day, yeah, Brandon Ayuk is an absolute difference maker, and the 49ers, they are Super Bowl favorites with him. I don't know that they are without him. That's how good he is. He makes a big difference in that offense, and the NFC is really tough. So I think the 49ers have to figure out a way to make this work with Brandon Ayuk for one more year.
Frank Schwab on tonight, NFL writer, yahoosports.com. Follow his work there. Jordan Addison, young guy, Vikings. Last year he got popped for going 140 miles an hour in Minneapolis. This past weekend he gets arrested on suspicion of DUI in L.A. What should Kevin O'Connell do? I mean, people are saying, well, this happens, but a couple of years in a row, what should O'Connell do?
Yeah, and if you're the Vikings, you're worried about a young guy making really, really bad decisions. And he's a good player, very good player. Had a heck of a rookie season, and the Vikings should feel like they got something really good there as a number 2 guy beside Justin Jefferson. But that's not going to come to fruition if he's making these stupid decisions. I mean, this is extreme, and I hate to bring it up in such a flippant way, but Henry Ruggs, he's a guy who had a promising career and threw it all away because of that horrible accident he had. So, if you're the Vikings, if the NFL, look, I think the NFL's got to take care of this and come down on him and suspend him, and the Vikings really don't have to do anything. You kind of learn your lesson from 4 to 6 games or whatever it's going to be without game checks. But I think the Vikings there's been a steady drumbeat of, hey, the Vikings are not happy with Jordan Addison and his behavior. And I think that it's pretty clear you can connect the dots there to see where that's coming from and why that's coming out now. I think the Vikings I don't know that necessarily they would add on to the suspension from the NFL, because it's going to be at least 4, I assume anyway. But if the NFL doesn't act right away, you do wonder if the Vikings are just going to take it in their own hands and maybe give him a short suspension, just to kind of say, like, look, this is for your own good. You're a really good young player. You have a big-time opportunity ahead of you to have a great career, and you are in the process of throwing this away right now if you keep making these decisions. I think something's going to have to come of this for Jordan Addison. I just don't assume he plays 17 games this year. Let's put it that way.
Okay. You think that's decisions. Right? The NFL could come down on him for a DUI?
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah. I think that definitely it has happened before. I don't know if it'd be 4 games or whatever it would be, but personal conduct policy. And, you go back and now you look at, like you said, the 140 miles an hour, and you said, oh, my dog had an emergency or whatever. Well, it looks a lot different today, doesn't it? And now you're like, was that it? So I think that, I don't think he escapes without some punishment from the NFL here. And if he does, I do think the Vikings would take it upon themselves to punish him, just to send a message of, look, you got to stop this. This is not a good path you're on.
Frank Schwab tonight. I'm going to get him back. We're getting close to the season, couple weeks out from training camp. We'll see if we can run through the divisions a little bit. Follow him putting out his rankings. He's been doing that. yahoosports.com, and he's on Twitter X at Yahoo Schwab. Frank, always good, man. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Frank Schwab tonight, getting us started. NFL writer, yahoosports.com. Yahoo Schwab on Twitter X. All right. Question of the day, dealing with Rapid City's Vision Fund. It may be going through a change. We'll see where this goes. It might go up to the ballot for voters to decide, should we change how we do the Vision Fund? No citizen committee, or going to have the citizen committee. So that's where it might go to the ballot in November. My thought is, whichever way that goes and the citizens vote, where's sports going to land in this? And if you had sports projects and facilities, which we funded here in Rapid City through the Vision Fund, And it makes sense to me because sports return an investment. Who should decide how a city spends money on sports? Elected council, mayor, the citizen committee that's informed, educated, appointed, or all citizens should vote? Like, you're going to do an indoor facility. Should all citizens vote on an indoor facility, on that piece? How about, like a turf facility, whatever it is? So out in Sioux Falls, they essentially don't have to mess around. They just did a Sanford all-turf complex. I mean, it's all turf. I've been out there. Soccer, baseball, softball. It's all turf. They don't have to mess around. They get a huge chunk, and they go, hey, we got it. Here's the money. Boy, they have great facilities. Yeah. What do you say to this? 53% of you responding on Twitter, all citizens should vote on sports projects. All citizens should vote, 53%. 27% leave it to the city council. 21% do the citizen committee on spending money on sports. All right. I will give you my read on this as we go through your votes. Send them in, 720-1067 on the Barron's-Wilson text line. Here's one. Let's see. Voters here shoot anything down. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's iffy. It's iffy. Let's go to SEC Media Days. Jump down to Dallas. College football writer for FootballScoop.com. It's Zach Barnett. He was at the presser today with Millbank, South Dakota's Kalen DeBoer. SEC Media Days. We'll get an update. Zach Barnett on the way.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Ready for some rodeo action? Wild West Wednesdays at Hart Ranch Camping Resort are back at Max Steel Arena with weekly rodeos until August 14th. Gates open at 5 p.m. with performances starting at 7 p.m. Join us July 17th as we're celebrating our healthcare heroes with Healthcare Workers Appreciation Night. Tickets are available at the gate or at hrresorts.org. Thank you to our major sponsors, True Grit RV Repair, Dakota Discount RV, Jack's Campers, Midwest Campers, Camping World, Sanders Sanitation, WeatherTight Exteriors, and All Pro Insulation.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for WeatherTight Exteriors. We all love the warm weather that summer brings to the Black Hills, but with that warm weather, we all know that storms can pop up and do some damage to our homes. That's actually just what happened to me. And when that happens, the company you can count on is WeatherTight Exteriors. They've won Best of the Black Hills 5 years in a row. I'm working with them right now, and I'm 100% satisfied. When it comes to your home, work with someone you can count on. Learn more at weathertight.com. They'll stand behind their work.
Nearly 100 new GMCs in stock and on the way at Spearfish GMC. Sierra 1500, Denali, AT4, SLT, and Elevation Edition all in stock. 2500 and 3500 HDs starting at around $55,000. Acadias and Terrain starting at $38,300. 5 Hummer EVs in stock and on the way, including the exclusive Omega Limited Edition. We've got trucks. Spearfish GMC Cadillac, online at spearfishmotors.com.
At Fleet Farm, we know every sunny day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday fishing gear from Rapala, Berkeley, and Minn Kota. Everyday grilling goods from Weber, Kingsford, and Blackstone. Everyday camping gear from Coleman, Yeti, and Eureka. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
We're talking with Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy with an Elevate Performance Health Minute. So if somebody has an athlete, Rihanna, who they suffer a concussion, they come and see you, what can you do for them?
We want to see them as soon as possible to make sure that we can make their return to sport as safe as possible. So we can look at proprioception, balance, vestibular work, and cervical strength.
When they try to get back up to speed, you said a treatment plan, very important as they return to sport.
making sure that the athlete has a skilled plan moving forward so that they don't return to sport way too early, making sure that the return to contact is an appropriate timing.
And the goal of that is you do not want to have another concussion getting back to it too early.
Correct. If we have another concussion too early, the athlete is at a huge risk of further problems down the road, including anything with their school or memory or continuous headaches.
For concussion treatment, get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting heard weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
All right, we're off and running on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning into the program. However long you spend with us, we appreciate it. Hope you had a good day. I do. Remember, if you can, it's always a great day in the Black Hills. Yes, the Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us at foxsportsrapidcity.com. On your phone, anywhere, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Here on the radio, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, and streaming now on Twitter, live in studio. Welcome in the ex-Twitter audience, at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live. SEC Media Days in Dallas. Zach Barnett's there. College football national writer, footballscoop.com. Zach, good to have you back. How are you?
Nate, good people of South Dakota, I am speaking to you live from the belly of the beast, of the center of the college football universe, the third floor of the Omni Hotel in Dallas, Texas. How are you?
I love that. That's a great intro right there. We're doing good. I want to ask you about, so Kalen DeBoer is a South Dakota guy, Millbank, South Dakota. We're big fans of his attitude, his humility, the whole thing. He's done an outstanding job. I want to start with Kalen DeBoer. He said today, it's a blessing to have this job. What do you think about the fit? Give me your read on the fit with DeBoer, the personality, the program.
Well, first of all, he's one of two South Dakotans to head coach in the SEC.
Yes.
You certainly know the other one.
Yes. Josh Heupel. Okay. I love it.
There we go. Yeah. So it's honestly, my feeling is so far so great. I think he's exceeded expectations. I think people at Alabama are more impressed with him, more in love with him than they anticipated they would be. I think he's won everyone over. Obviously, the money spigot for recruiting has turned on. Alabama, as we speak, or I guess I should say last I checked, has the number one high school recruiting class in the country. But they're going to be a top 5 team, and they're going to be a threat to win the national championship. And, I mean, this guy is 104-12 as a head coach, so he clearly knows what he's doing, and there's no need to overcomplicate things. So I would say on a scale of A+ to A++, he's A+++++.
Really? Okay, very interesting. How about his QB, Jalen Milroe? What do you think about his place in college football this season?
Well, I'll tell you, his place at SEC Media Days so far is first place in terms of dress. You should see he's in a black suit with a very expensive-looking chain and an old newspaper-style hat with 2 playing cards in the side of it. If you get a chance, go look it up. You won't be disappointed. I mean, I think he's this is a tough statement to make definitively, so I won't say definitively. But in my opinion, he's the best overall athlete in this conference. I mean, you look at his ability as a runner. He's so strong, so fast. He's a big dude. I stood next to him yesterday. Find my Twitter feed. You'll see the photo I'm talking about. I was about 4 feet from him. I can't tackle him, that's for sure. And Kalen DeBoer's offense has a long track record of improving quarterbacks. You know, look at what Michael Penix was, where he was before Washington. Look to where he is now. I'm not saying he's going to be Michael Penix, but improvement is what you're looking for, and Kalen DeBoer knows how to throw the football.
Zach Barnett on from SEC Media Days in Dallas, footballscoop.com for the coverage. He's on Twitter X at Zach_Barnett. You can find him there. So SEC-wise, Greg Sankey's running the show, and he's a big power broker Is he the biggest power broker in college football?
I think so. One of my colleagues, I'm going to shout him out, Carter Yates at TexasFootball.com. I put it the best, I thought. He said that Greg Sankey is a Rockefeller in a world without a Roosevelt. So what does that mean? He's not the president. He doesn't hold the office of commissioner or anything like that, but he's the richest man in a world without a president to check him in. So if someone wants to stand in Sankey's way, technically there's a way they could stop him. In terms of reality, I don't know that anyone could.
So do you think he's standing pat and the presidents of the SEC, are we going to be where we're at with the number of teams? We don't see any change there in the near future. What do you think?
He opened everything Monday by saying that they're focused on 16. 16s are today. 16 is our tomorrow. That's what he said. And then he went on the radio in Jacksonville today and basically mocked Florida State to their face when talking about how Georgia missed the playoff and you didn't see them throwing a fit and whining and declaring themselves national champions. An obvious shot at Florida State, and he's mentioned them trying to sue their way out of the ACC. So all that to say, I don't think Florida State stock has gone up in Sankey's mind, or in the mind of the SEC president.
Zach Barnett, couple more. He's at SEC Media Days here on the Nate Brown Show, footballscoop.com, national writer. So he also discussed this a little bit, like in this future of college football, is there going to be somebody that actually runs the show? He's a power broker, but people are wondering, are we going to have a structure, people say like a college football commissioner? Do you think that that's something that people are really looking at?
If and when college football programs officially break away from the colleges they represent, then that will happen. Until then, as long as the front porch is part of the house, is attached to the house, university presidents will never cede authority and allow someone else who's not a university president to tell them what they have to do with the most visible part of their billion-dollar institution.
Okay, one more on this. Revenue sharing was mentioned yesterday by U.S. Department of Education. They said, okay, in this revenue sharing model moving forward, the Title IX person for the government said revenue sharing is going to have to follow Title IX. We're not going to tell you, exactly how to do it, but it's going to have to follow Title IX. What does that mean to you?
It means that the $22 million figure that everyone's throwing around is real, but it's not real in the way that we all think it is, that you take $22 million, divide it by 85, and that's how much the average football player will make, because that's going to have to be split along gender lines. It's going to have to be split with other athletes in other sports, male sports. I've seen reporting that payments that schools already make to athletes can count towards that $22 million figure. So at the end of the day, college football players may not receive as large of a quote-unquote salary as you might assume.
Last one, Zach Barnett's at SEC Media Days, footballscoop.com. You said Alabama could be top 5 program. So Georgia, Texas, are there 3 SEC teams in the top 5?
I think so. Ohio State and Oregon will be the other 2. I think that's your clear-cut top 5. And can I tell you the magic of the SEC here for a second, Nate?
Yes, I love it.
I've been here all week, and I have not heard a single person, and you're going to be the first person to hear this take from me. I've been here all week. Last season, the SEC fell on its face in non-conference play. It had the worst non-conference season it's had in a long time. Its champion, who went undefeated in conference play, lost to the Big Ten champion and the Big 12 champion. So the SEC had its weakest season it's ever had, and the brand is stronger than it's ever been.
Wow, very interesting. That is interesting. Zach Barnett with the coverage, footballscoop.com, national writer. Follow him on X, Twitter. He's at SEC Media Days, Zach_Barnett. Thanks for popping on, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, enjoy it.
Thanks a lot. Zach Barnett at SEC Media Days. Good stuff. Footballscoop.com, national college football writer. Here on the Nate Brown Show with SEC Update. He gives Kalen DeBoer A+++. It was like my grades. It's like my grades in school. Footballscoop.com. Zach Barnett is in. That's going to be a great story to watch. I've become a Kalen DeBoer fan. The South Dakota connection's undeniable. I mean, you root. I do. I follow these guys. And DeBoer at Washington, I became a Washington fan. I love how he handles things. Looks like a player's coach, but still runs the show and has structure and a great culture. Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, that's a biggie. That'll be a great story to watch. Great story to watch. Okay, Craig Maddox on next from Sioux Falls, SDPB Sports. I'm going to ask Craig, how should communities spend money on sports and who should decide? We'll start there. Craig Maddox on the way.
You're listening to the Nate Brown Show.
Santa in the pool? Oh my. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July 2024 event is so great that even Santa is shocked. 20% off, no money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. No payments until 2026. Windows, patio, and entry doors from Renewal by Anderson. And Renewal's Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Imagine no payments until 26. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. It's Christmas in July at Renewal by Anderson. It's so good even Santa is shocked.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 63. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow, 93. Lots of sunshine. Partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow night, lows around 66. 90 Friday with a chance of thunderstorms. 86 Saturday. Chance for storms continues. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 82.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here live 4 to 6. If you missed parts of the show, the Nate Brown Show podcast always available. You could be listening to the show right now on the podcast. Wow, that's weird. So you're listening tomorrow to me right now? The Nate Brown Show podcast. Available Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show and you've got us. The Nate Brown Show driven by Spearfish Motors. That's our number one place for new GMCs and Cadillacs in the Black Hills. No doubt. 1910 North Main and Spearfish. They're outstanding. Great selection. So it's award-winning sales and service there. You got everything. Locally owned. Spearfish GMC Cadillac for the new GMC Sierra pickups, the Yukons, the Terrain, all Cadillac models. Take a look. SpearfishMotors.com. It's great. SpearfishMotors.com. Craig Maddock, SDPB Sports, longtime broadcaster from Sioux Falls. He is back in. East River meets West River on a Wednesday. Craig, how is Sioux Falls tonight?
Hey, everything is good. Just got done mowing the lawn, in fact.
Oh, very nice. Okay,
yeah.
So I'm giving you a break. Good to have you out there working.
I got my exercise in for the day.
Good to have you working. Okay, I have a little thing here. I'm going to have a discussion with you. So we have something called the Vision Fund, and you know about this, the 1 cent sales tax, and it's done so many good things for our community. I'm a huge fan. I've made that known. We've built great things, parks and rec and facilities, and supported great nonprofits. So we've done good work. Vision Fund could be changing the way we do that. Citizen Committee was how it was done. They select, they're educated, they're informed, they're appointed, and then they select the projects. Here, you get $2 million, $1 million, that. City might change that. It looks like it's going to go to a vote on the ballot for the citizens to decide, hey, should we have the Citizen Committee or should we not? And so that's the next vote. My question is, sports still needs to be at the forefront because I believe sports facilities bring in great dollars for sports tourism. You've seen it in Sioux Falls. Mm-hmm. We see it here. Every community does. So when I look at it, if we don't have a billionaire in this city, like somebody I know, can we? Who should decide how cities spend money on sports projects? Who should decide?
That's a good one there, Mr. Brown. And I know the Vision Fund has been great for Rapid City. When my good old friend, and bless them all, Bob Laskowski, he was a part of that there in Rapid City. Then he came, of course, and moved to Sioux Falls a little bit later, and he worked with me on the radio for a few years before he retired. But he always talked about what the Vision Fund did and how much of a huge kickstart that was to various projects. The museum there was a part of it as well. That is right next to the
monument.
To the monument, yes. Thank you.
Yes, I got you.
And so it's important that if I don't know how it works out, but it seems to me you need a committee that certainly is looking at all of the facets of what the needs are for Rapid City and for the region. You need those people. You need a committee that are out there looking beyond the scope to see what is in the best interest of Rapid City. You need that, but also, athletics, fine arts, entertainment is a huge part for cities. It's huge.
Yeah.
Not just sports. I'm talking concerts or the rodeos that come, all the entertainment that sparks development for the city is so important for the city. And I'm hoping that again, the committee that you have continues to look outside the box, look in the future, see what is coming, see what's needed for Rapid City, and they're allowed to go ahead and put these plans forward. Certainly in the long run, the people always are the ones that are going to make the final decision if there's going to be any discourse. If someone comes in and says we need to build a $30 million swim park or something, and I'm just doing that for
well, like the Summit Arena, we funded that with Vision Fund. But the community had to vote on that. That was a big one.
That was, and you needed the support from the town because if the town's not all in, then it's not going to be successful. And so that's part of the sell job that this the committee needs, and they've done it here in Sioux Falls. Not only when we built the Denny Sanford Premier Center, we knew we needed that. And then the next thing was that we needed a big indoor swimming complex, and they built that too. And that was all part of this committee, where again there was private and public money that was being used to finance those projects. And now they're thinking about a convention center downtown Sioux Falls. They want to build a brand new one downtown. Still a ways away on making any decisions on that.
Okay, I think about sports projects if they're not massive, like, hey, we're going to build a huge thing, $70 million. I'm talking turf complex or this facility or that. I look at sports projects, if you're going to have the Vision Fund help there, why not have the Sports Commission, which we've launched here the last couple of years? We have a Rapid City Sports Commission. They look at all this stuff. They hire consultants to come in and help look at what do you need? Here's the facilities you need. So they're educated. Why not the Sports Commission making the case to the city council and saying, hey, here's our 5-year and here's our 10-year plan of Rapid City, what we need for sports facilities, and then send that to the city council. I think that works.
Well, I think that is a part of it. I totally agree with you. You have to have a committee, though, that is looking outside the box and looking at the needs of the city, because there can be a certain percentage of the city, and name any city you want, where they're not sports fans. They don't get into concerts. They're maybe more into museums or something else.
Or just into voting no, too.
Or voting no because they don't want their taxes to go up, or whatever it may be. But for any project to be successful, and I've seen it in Sioux Falls a lot, excuse me, for a project to be successful, you have to have the support of the town.
Yeah, I'm with you on it.
Because if you don't get the support of the town, they're going to vote it out. They're going to say no. I mean, that's why sometimes when it comes to school voting elections, they ask for so much for an addition to the school, but the people say, well, that's too much. Cut that maybe 3/4, and then we'll say yes. But you got to have the town involved, and you got to do it together, because if you don't, it just doesn't work.
It'll be interesting. Vision Fund up for discussion. Will they change the process of how they award the money of the future Vision Fund moving forward? It might come to a ballot for us to decide how that process should go. Yeah. Craig Maticon tonight from Sioux Falls. Let me go to the NSIC, Northern Sun. They're going to add a team a few years down the road here. Jamestown, University of Jamestown, the Jimmies, official acceptance of Division II. Can they make it?
Well, it is. I feel bad for Jamestown because they're sitting all by themselves, excuse me, in a region where their travel budget is astronomical. And for them to get into that conference, it is a lot of travel. And I feel bad for them, but I say good for them. It is tough to get kids to go to Jamestown because of the travel. You think about it. They're traveling all the way to Upper Iowa. They're going over to Northwest Iowa. They're coming down to Sioux Falls. It is a lot of travel, and good for them. I know they tried at one time. They won, the Great Plains Athletic Conference. They were thinking about that at one time. But, because of their geography, I've always thought, that is a tough place. If you're going to be into athletics, Jamestown's a tough place to go. But you know what? They're going to make that commitment, and I wish them all the best.
Jamestown going Division II, NCAA Division II from NAIA. They're going to be in the Northern Sun. Can they compete with Augie? That seems like two different schools there.
Well, Augustana is a private school. Jamestown Public, is a state school, right? They're in North Dakota. So, there's going to be maybe a little a fight there for trying to raise money, and athletics in college today is much tougher. It is much tougher today because you got so many other things that are also asking for the almighty dollar. Augustana, they just started hockey. They're getting into the CSSHA, or that conference that they're going to go in. They're going to go this year. But the amount of money that Augustana is paying to be now Division I hockey, it's going to take money away from the other sports there at Augustana. No doubt about it. And for Jamestown, you know what? They've got their regular athletic teams for men and women. and it's going to be a challenge for them. And hey, you got to remember when you're talking about all this travel in the conference, we always think about football and volleyball and basketball. But it's all the other sports doing all that traveling as well. So that's their biggest wall, is raising enough money for them to be able to be in the league and to travel across Division II.
It's going to be an interesting road. Jamestown going D2, and people said that about Black Hill State and School of Mines. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. It took a while, and now School of Mines and Black Hill State, to me, right in the mix.
Rivalries going, maybe.
Yeah, right in the mix of the RMAC and the D2 level. So it takes a while. It's a lot of growth there. Craig Maddock on one more, SDPB Sports from Sioux Falls. I saw this come out from Minnesota. I didn't know this. When it comes to high school sports, in the summer, Minnesota High School Activities Association doesn't have any rules on contact with coaches and practices and tournaments, and there's no rules except for football. That's it. So Minnesota said, football coaches and teams, you can only do this many days, that many days. Every other sport, you can do whatever you want. South Dakota, we have rules.
Yes, we do.
Which place is better? Which place is better?
Well, it's one of those where the summer gets divided among all these sports. I mean, I'm talking the multi-sport athletes.
Yeah.
You can only have so many touches or only so many practices during the summer, and all these kids are trying to decide what they want to do, whether it's football and basketball. I'm okay with most of it. I mean, they got the camps,
they got
the rules. I'm okay with it for the way we're set.
I am too, by the way. I think, I said consistency, uniformity. I just want, if there's rules, here's what it is. Coaches know they can do an open gym or suggest, hey, come to this, come to that.
And the athletes will take over. You see a lot where the kids, they're having their own football practice out. Today they're doing stuff on their own. Probably with a little help from this. Here are some drills you guys can do.
Yes,
but for the most part, they're out there. You got open basketball, you got volleyball going on. I think for the most part, it's working fine. I like where we're at right now.
I'm curious how that works in Minnesota. That's interesting. No rules on contact with coaches and tournaments, and that's interesting. So now this program may say, hey, we expect you this, and then the other program, hey, I play volleyball too. Well, yeah, we expect you this. That's interesting.
That's correct.
Minnesota does it that way. The only rules on summer contact in Minnesota is on football. Craig Maddock on tonight, SDPB Sports. Craig, good to have you. Have some dinner. You mowed the lawn. You deserve a nice evening, okay?
And then I'm going to listen to the rest of your show online.
I like it. Good stuff.
You like that?
I like that. Thanks, sir. Craig Maddock in tonight. Appreciate his time. SDPB Sports, Sioux Falls. His podcast is In Play. You can find it there on SDPB. Okay. Wednesday here on the Nate Brown Show. What does that mean? 5 questions from Chris. The much anticipated, eagerly awaited 5 questions from Chris today. What do you got for me, Chris? Our local listener sends them in. My answer's next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
During the summer months, residents may encounter someone at their door looking to sell a product or a service, especially with the recent storms and flooding. The Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division offers these tips. Be aware of false claims. Keep a copy of the final bill or contract. Make final payment only after the work is completed. And pay by check to a business, not to an individual. If you have questions regarding a door-to-door sale, contact the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986 or at consumerhelp@state.sd.us.
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish invites you for the best golfing experience that South Dakota has to offer. Elkhorn Ridge has been ranked by Golf Digest as the #1 public course in the state. Off exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers an 18-hole championship layout with breathtaking views and an experience second to none. South Dakota's #1 public golf course is right in your backyard. Book a tee time and hit the course at Elkhorn Ridge. Visit elkhornridgeresort.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see a new model of Bushwhacker teardrop on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new Radical line of Bushwhackers from Braxton Creek. And along with the Bushwhacker 12SK, bang for the buck, there's nothing out there like these new Braxton Creek Bushwhacker teardrops.
You just gotta see these new Radical Bushwhacker teardrops. So many options for their size.
The Radical line just took boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded Bushwhacker teardrops. Save $1,500 right now on the Radical 10 HD and the 12SK teardrop campers.
So many options for towing. No need for a diesel or big truck.
Exactly. These only weigh around 1,500 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig. There will never be a better time to buy this year.
Come check them out and save thousands on all campers. See anytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Tonight we are in the Drive at 5. You've made it. 5 o'clock. The Black Hills Sports Station. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Thanks to all of our listeners, our sponsors. Really appreciate that. We're not able to cover the local sports and keep you plugged in and do the whole thing without helping promote companies and spend your money local, help our companies that are on Fox Sports Rapid City. Makes a big difference. Thanks to everybody for being a part of the program. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City and the Drive at 5. Brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. I'll tell you, that's the place for pre-owned in Rapid City. You need somebody you can work with on pre-owned with the right financing, right? So they're going to look at the right financing for you. You got to get the right selection, quality, and none of the high-pressure sales gimmicky stuff. Summit's going to do it all. Experience the Summit difference. SummitAutoGRP.com. When it comes to pre-owned, start at SummitAutoGRP.com. That'll be a great place. Eli Ong is coming up. First time on the show. Eli Ong, Chicago Bears reporter for WGN. WGN live from Chicago. It continues our NFL season countdown, going to every market trying to get plugged in. Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, the whole crew signing, and the Bears off and running. So Eli Ong coming up next from WGN. All right, it's Wednesday. That means it is 5 questions from Chris. Here we go. Thanks for the questions, Chris. Let's see what I got for you. 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show. Question 1. Joe Burrow says he also wants to play flag football in the Summer Olympics in L.A. in 2028 and represent the U.S. Joe Burrow also said the NFL should look at holding the Pro Bowl during a league-wide bye week during the season. Nate, do you think it's a good idea to do the Pro Bowl during the regular NFL football season? Here's my answer, Chris. Are you ready? I'm cantankerous. I don't think it's a good idea to do the Pro Bowl anymore. How about that? Does that answer your question? I don't want the Pro Bowl regular season after the... It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is. Question number 2. MLB All-Star Game was last night. The American and National League were under the same DH rules. Maybe the showcase has worn off a little bit. Should Major League Baseball look into changing the All-Star game? For example, have an All-Star roster of North America versus the world. Would you want that, Nate? They've tried changing the All-Star game. I was just talking about this with my good buddy Jerome Wickersham, play-by-play announcer for Fox Sports Rapid City. We were talking, are we going to watch the All-Star game? I said, I check it out, definitely. I mean, I don't watch the whole thing. I don't. The exhibition stuff. It's still the best All-Star game in pro sports to me. Baseball is still the best. So they used to do home field advantage, whoever won it, National League, American League, home field advantage for the World Series. I liked that as a fan if my team wasn't in it, like the Cubs, meaning not in the pennant race. So as a fan, you're like, oh, this game makes competitive now. It matters to home field in the World Series. But if you're honest, it was too much. If the Phillies have the best record, they got to have home field advantage. That's silly if they don't get a good pitching day from Hunter Green and they lose in the All-Star game. That's silly. That's silly. So should they change it up again? I don't know. I think it's okay. It's the best All-Star game of pro sports. It's okay. It's a pageant. It's stars. It's okay. North America versus the world. I think NBA should do that first. Like USA against the world. I think NBA should do that. Question number 3. Staying in baseball, we criticize Major League Baseball, and rightfully so, for a lack of a coherent national marketing and promotion campaign of its best players. The people on Fifth Avenue have receded their marketing power to the teams themselves, saying they're in charge. Can baseball get back into a top 3 or top 4 sport in viewership on a national level? I don't think it can. I mean, it's NFL, it's college football, and then it's NBA. And I don't think baseball, hockey, I don't think they can get in there. It's lost that power, and then there's just too many games. There's no sense of urgency. We live in a world where we can get instant gratification, and people don't care for Sunday night baseball when it's 1 of 162. I was just talking to somebody today in one of my meetings about Major League Baseball. I said, what do you think of Major League Baseball and people's interest and stuff? No, I mean, there's people that are interested. I watch Major League Baseball, and then in the playoffs, I really am plugged in. But it's lost its connection there. It's not fitting today's world of I can catch everything right now, and I got to wait through a 3-hour baseball game, 1 of 162. So people just start watching those games like that, and the stars matter too. I mean, Aaron Judge is great, Paul Skeens. I mean, you got some of these guys, Shohei Ohtani, but I'm telling you, more people are watching Caitlin Clark than Sunday Night Baseball with the Yankees. I mean, that's the fact. Question number 4. British Open starts tomorrow. Royal Troon in Scotland. Troon is a links course. They have a house on famous par 3. A house, a duplex home named Blackrock in the middle of the course. Okay, if you had a chance to play at a links course, Nate, in the UK, would you do that? Well, that's a big yes, Chris. A huge yes. Would I play at a links course in the UK? A huge yes. I have not been overseas. England, Scotland, Ireland. It's on the list. I'm going to take the Nate Brown Show helicopter that one of our listeners says I have. I got to work on that. I have not been over there. Of course, that's a huge yes. I'm gonna do that. Am I going to do that? I'm going to definitely go overseas. I haven't been overseas. That's a great experience soon to come. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. Paris Summer Olympics less than 10 days away. France and Paris spent a lot of money to do the event, nearly $10 billion. 6th most expensive Olympics. Do you think France will recoup some of the cost, or will they be left holding the bag? $10 billion. I am of this thought pattern. I think we should select about 5 places to do the Olympics. Instead of having to build stuff and do stuff all the time and $10 billion, I mean, this is a racket. Somebody's making a bunch of money, and I guess it's okay, but somebody is making a bunch of money. The Olympic Committee and all this stuff, and the bids and how this goes. We got it. I mean, for the Olympics, it's great. We got to spend $10 billion on it. I mean, that's crazy to me. Select 5-6 cities around the world, a couple here, a couple around the world. That's it. Winter and summer. Select them. Build it. Then you can renovate it. You can keep it up to speed. Quit wasting money. Look forward to the Olympics, though. I'm juiced. 5 questions from Chris in the books. And a Chicago Bears report is next with WGN's Eli Ong on the way.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
Santa in the pool? Oh my! Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July 2024 event is so great that even Santa is shocked. 20% off, no money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. No payments until 2026. Windows, patio, and entry doors from Renewal by Anderson. And Renewal's Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Imagine no payments until 26. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. It's Christmas in July at Renewal by Anderson. It's so good even Santa is shocked.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Is your low price headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires manufactured direct and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $265 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $160 in rebates on Bridgestone, or up to $150 in rebates on Firestone. Pomp's Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offers end July 31st. See store for details. Visit us online at pompstire.com. Pomps, we know tires and service. You should know Pomps.
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together on putting your family first.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right. The Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Rapid City, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side. A reminder, if you missed some of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show right there. We're still loving our experience last week with Chris Mad Dog Russo. He joined us live in studio, 20 minutes with Mad Dog Russo. Find the Nate Brown Show podcast if you missed that one last Wednesday, a week ago. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got the podcast, all right? Hey, we're here on Fox Sports Rapid City, jumping around every market with an NFL team. We're making it our goal before the season starts. Last night, we were in Dallas. Tonight, Chicago. Hey, perfect day. Bears signing Caleb Williams officially. It's in. Number one pick. He's with WGN. Covers the Bears and the sports scene. Eli Ong joins us on The Nate Brown Show. Eli, good to have you. How are you?
Pretty good, Nate. Any day is a good day when I can sit down in Chi-Town, talk some ball with Nate Brown. What can I do for you, brother?
I like it. Here we go. This is the thing. Caleb Williams signs the deal. So, people knew it was going to happen. Why do you think it took a while? People were like, oh, man, he hasn't signed his deal yet. What do you think was going on?
Honestly, early on, like way before he ever officially became a Chicago Bear, there were rumors that circulated around Chicago and the football world that he and his dad were going to do something crazy and out of left field, like, want like an ownership stake or something in the team that drafted him. But that's something I can't substantiate or ever played like a role in discussions. I know that he has a non-traditional circle around him too. He doesn't have an agent. He has managing partners of business firms and attorneys and what have you. He has a very nuanced and layered situation around him that's not necessarily a traditional situation that front officers may be used to dealing with. So maybe there was like some catches and negotiations, getting things back and forth between the two parties, but like it was always a foregone conclusion that this would get done. It was just a little weird that it took up until yesterday, or today, I should say, to actually make it happen.
Eli Ong is on tonight, covers the Bears, WGN News here on the Nate Brown Show. He's on X, Twitter, his handle, The Pen of Eli. So let's get to Caleb Williams and the excitement. You're in Chi-Town. I love Chi-Town. By the way, I don't know which side you go here, okay? You're a reporter. I'm a Cubs fan, longtime Cubs fan. Harry Carey, Steve Stone, the whole thing. It's a long story. So I'm a Cubs guy. I love the Cubs. I'm not a Bears fan. What's the excitement like with Caleb Williams coming to town?
It is palpable. It's the highest it's been in years from people that I talk to who are much older than I am and have covered Chicago Bears football for much longer than I have. It's a very novel thing for Chicago sports when you think about it. Like, this is not a franchise that's known to have talent under center in addition to depth and talent at the wide receiver position. So, like, when you talk about Caleb Williams, this fan base is ravenous, and this is a powerhouse fan base in the NFL in general that is often always ready to talk Chicago Bears football. Is all about the team. They bleed blue and orange. Last year when Justin Fields was the quarterback, I can't tell you how many fans and people around the team I would talk to, and everyone's like, oh, this team's going to win 12 games. We're going to get a playoff game. We're going to win a playoff game. And, like, they just have, like, this unyielding faith and belief in their team. And when they bring in a guy like Caleb Williams who has the pomp and circumstance, the flash, and all the talent around him, to pair with the talent that he has on his offense, people are ready for the regular season to start tomorrow, if I'm being honest, Nate.
I believe you on that. I've had some national NFL writers on, and they said, hey, the Bears, you can't ignore the Bears now. And this has been a team in the NFC North that's been like struggling. The national guys say the Bears are the real deal in the NFC North with guys that they brought in. Let me ask you one more on Caleb Williams. Do you get the sense people are worried about the drama, any of that stuff? He gets hit by the national media quite a bit. His time at USC. Is there a drama watch here?
I think people are waiting with a little bit of a bated breath. Chicago media is no joke either. They're very, very cutthroat when athletes turn tail or don't live up to their expectations, and they will hold your face to the fire around here. But, in terms of drama, I don't know if they're going to pay too much attention to the things he does off the field, like, going to fashion shoots in Milan or, like, painting his nails. If his performance doesn't line up or he doesn't play well, that'll probably be brought up. But it's going to center around the performance, at least around here in Chicago, in my opinion.
Eli Ong is on Fox Sports Rapid City tonight. Glad to have him from Chicago, covers the Bears, WGN News. So I look at some of the players. Caleb Williams, number one pick. Rome Odunze signed his deal, great wide receiver. So, and then I looked down, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. So you tell me in the NFC North, how do you see it, Eli? Is it Detroit? Is Chicago second? How do you see the NFC North?
Honestly, going around the sports department here, guys like Jarrett Payton, Josh Friedman, Caitlin Sharkey, I think the consensus between me and my colleagues is if the dominoes fall in an acceptable manner, in a right manner for this team, they stay moderately healthy and everyone develops, this is a team that can win 10 games, get to a wild card spot, and, maybe shock someone in the first round. Right now, I think the Detroit Lions are still the class of this division. They're incredibly deep in several areas around the ball. And honestly, if you look at position groups, their offensive line group might be the best position group among any position group in football with how they line up on the line. The Lions, just going to talk about them for a quick second. They lost their left guard, Jonah Jackson, but they brought in Kevin Zeitler, who was a Pro Bowl guard, to go with guys like Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, and Frank Ragnow at center. So, they got the hog mollies up front. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They got weapons outside with Laporta and St. Brown. So, they're going to be tough to compete with. But I think this team in Chicago is capable of beating those pain-in-the-butt Packers up there in Wisconsin. I think they're capable of upending the Vikings. I think they're going to give a lot of teams a run for their money this year, and I think they're more than capable if everyone develops right, if Shane Waldron's offensive scheme sticks. They can win 10 games, maybe make a little bit of a run in the playoffs if all the dominoes fall in a row.
Okay, so this is a team that hasn't had playoff appearances lately. If they don't make the playoffs, is that going to be seen as a failure and a coach change?
I'll tell you what, the most cursed position, whether it's a position on the field or a coaching position, is definitely the offensive coordinator position in Chicago. They turn through people left and right at offensive coordinator for the Bears. So if let's say the Bears, start off in neutral or don't, get off to a hot start at the beginning of the regular season, they go 1-5, 2-4 for 6 weeks of the year. A lot of people are going to be looking right back at Shane Waldron just like they were last year at Lou Getsy. There's a lot of money and time and resources that have been poured into this offense, and the guy at the helm of making it all come together is Shane Waldron. So if it doesn't go well, that's probably the first name that gets brought up because, a few people will talk about Eberflus, head coach, and whether his job is on the line, but he's always been a defensive-centric coach. And this is a unit that's primed to be a top 10 unit, and even if the offense doesn't perform, the defensive side of the ball should be able to keep the Bears in the ball game.
I like it, man. We have a lot of interest in NFC North, a lot of Vikings fans out here, but we get some hits on the Bears as well. We got some homers. Eli Ong is on tonight from Chicago, WGN. Last one, Justin Fields over at Pittsburgh. Is Justin Fields going to overtake Russell Wilson, or is it going to be Russell the whole way?
I have a gut that it's going to be, or a gut feeling that's going to be Russell the whole way. He's a veteran dude. He's won games in this league. He's gone to Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl. I think he's Tomlin's guy, but I think giving Justin Fields a fresh perspective, a fresh area to play in, a new stadium, a new team, might revitalize his game a little bit. I kind of felt bad for him in Chicago because he was always someone that was even-keeled, always faced the cameras, no matter if it was positive or negative publicity he was dealing with. He was always someone that, faced the fire and, took his lumps. But Russell Wilson is established, and, despite what happened in Denver, he still put up decent numbers last year, I believe, off the top of my head, if I'm remembering this right. Wilson had 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions last year for a Denver Broncos team that was very ho-hum, not something you really look to watch. When you bring Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh and pair him with that defense that features guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Joey Bosa and people of that ilk, I think, the Pittsburgh Steelers might be back to that team that's formidable and going into the playoffs with expectations to win ball games.
All right. You say Russell's going to stick in Pittsburgh, just in the back of right now. Eli Ong is in Chicago, his Bears. Well, it's a team to talk about, man. WGN News. He's on tonight. Eli, thanks for hopping in. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Nate. Always glad to talk some ball.
All right. Eli Ong from WGN News. His Twitter is The Pen of Eli. Covers the Bears, the Sky, that scene. WGN. One of my favorites back in the day. Cubs on WGN back in the day. My favorite. Eli Ong in tonight on the Nate Brown Show with the Bears report. I like it. He said, hey, high expectations, a lot of, and I've heard that from NFL writers. I'm not going to buy it yet. I'm looking at the NFC North. Here's how I've got it. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. That's how I have it. I don't see the Bears, maybe playoffs, this and that. It's like Lions, Packers, Vikings, and by the way, that could be interchangeable. Hang on. That could be interchangeable. Vikings, Packers, hate to tell you, but that's how I got it. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. All right. The Open starts early morning here. I'm going to start up and watch the Open, Royal Troon. What's this whole deal with Colin Montgomery and Tiger Woods? I need a guy to give me a read on it. Mike Mendelson talking the Open, some of his picks for the tournament. The pro at Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Mike Mendelson next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Santa in the pool? Oh my. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July 2024 event is so great that even Santa is shocked. 20% off, no money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. No payments until 2026. Windows, patio, and entry doors from Renewal by Anderson. And Renewal's Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Imagine no payments until 26. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. It's Christmas in July at Renewal by Anderson. It's so good even Santa is shocked.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Don't make a bad call the next time you need an attorney. The lawyers of Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers have been serving the legal needs of clients throughout the state for over 75 years. Serious legal issues like divorce, business disputes, personal injury, and criminal matters require a solid team. When you need a win, call Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers at 721-1517. Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers, proudly supporting our area's youth and sports teams in their pursuit of excellence.
I am here with Weston and Tanisha Chapman from Black Hills Tire.
We're the neighborhood shop for the whole town because we will pick up and deliver anywhere in town. We will do whatever we can to help anybody.
It's important to us that somebody can say like, hey, my mom needs something. They need this and I know you'll take care of them. I think that means more to us than anything is when somebody will say like, I need somebody in my family taken care of and I know you guys will take care of them. And that's just because that's community to us.
If we all help each other out, we can create this community together.
Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Hey, this is Rob Parker from The Odd Couple. Don't miss our show weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now we'll send you back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in, everybody. Thanks for being here on a Wednesday. Appreciate it. I got a Bears fan checking in here on the text line. Hang on. Chicago Bears, I put them at 4th in the NFC North. I do. I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold yet. They're better, but I'm not sold yet. That's a tough division. Listener text here. What did it say? Nate, I'm going to say it again because he sent this in before. The Bears and Vikings had the same record last year, and the Bears got better. The Vikings got worse. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. book it. All right. Good luck. The Bears are more interesting right now, no doubt. Mike Mendelson's on tonight. Golf pro, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club, Spearfish. He's been golfing, teaching lessons. That's the best place to play. #1 public course in South Dakota, right here in our backyard. Elkhorn Ridge, the place to go. Mike Mendelson's on the Nate Brown Show tonight. The Open starts tomorrow, early morning. Royal Troon. Mike, good to have you back. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Let's talk Royal Troon. Before we get into some picks and kind of your breakdown, you help me out here. Help me out. Colin Montgomery talking about Tiger, and it was the big story yesterday. Colin Montgomery went in the Times of London and said, talking about Tiger's age and his career, aren't we there yet? Meaning, aren't we there? Like he's done, retired essentially. He said, aren't we there? I would have thought we're past there. There's a time for all sportsmen to say goodbye. Tiger said, hey, Colin can't choose what I play in or not. He's not a champion. I'm a past champion. What's your read on that deal?
It's a very, very difficult thing. Like, I don't think Tiger's probably, scaring too many people of playing anymore. But I also think he's earned the right to still play with the amount of majors that he's won. And, he's multiple Open champion. And like he said back when he clapped back at Colin that, he is an Open champion, so he has the right to play till he's 60. And that's, I think, we all watched Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, a lot of those guys playing majors when they really didn't have a chance to play anymore. Now everything's just so much more covered and you hear the off the X and all the other stuff, like you see it on social media. So like Colin Montgomery gets more attention than, a lot of people used to get when they might have said like Jack Nicklaus maybe, has no chance to win. Why is he still playing? But, that's kind of my read on it is it's more covered than it should be. I mean, Tiger definitely earned the right to keep playing in majors as long as he can.
It's one of those things, Mike. It's like, is there a point? It's always, whether it's Jordan or LeBron, whoever, or this sport, people are saying, well, is he going to play past his success? Meaning, he's going to keep playing and he shouldn't keep playing. Tiger's, this is the first time since 2019 he's actually played in all 4 majors. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. His health has definitely been, shaky. And, it's hopefully he can play 4 days, although I don't think that's really going to happen. I think he'll probably be done after Friday. But, and that's, I think it's up to Tiger to decide when he wants to stop playing these instead of, like, people saying that he shouldn't play them. Like, everybody has these expectations of Tiger when he was winning everything. But, there's a lot of guys that probably still have, the thrill to go play in those while they can, and it's a select few of players that can keep playing in these majors for that kind of time frame.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mike Mendelson's on, golf pro at Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish, #1 course, public course in South Dakota. So let's go to Royal Troon. You give me the take on the links course. I mean, it's all, rain, wind half the time. The links course, who do you think, when you're looking at this tournament starting, has the advantages?
Well, Royal Troon is interesting because, Henrik Stenson is the defending champion at Royal Troon, and he hasn't done anything since he won the Open Championship. Not a bunch. Like, he's been, he went to Live, obviously, but, and wasn't able to be a Ryder Cup captain, but he hasn't played great after that victory in 2016. Prior to him winning, it was 6 straight Americans who won at Royal Troon. So I'm not, it's a very interesting test. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's more conventional than maybe some of the other links courses, but it still has that, like, who knows what's going to happen. You hit a ball, 10 feet right of where you're looking, and you're going to end up in a pot bunker, and you make double bogey or worse. So that's what makes links golf so hard, is like the wind, judging the wind and the elements and staying out of the cross bunkers and the pot bunkers and all the things the gorse that get you into trouble. And that's why I think the Open is pretty much, it might be the most wide open of the majors, because, someone just stays out of those bunkers and makes putts and they win the tournament. And so it's wide open, I think. I saw like a lot of people are picking Ludwig Aberg. Definitely been playing strong of late. Had a great first 3 rounds in the Scottish Open, and he's been a guy that's played a lot of really good tournaments through 3 rounds and just hasn't pulled it off. Maybe he has the experience, but I also think Xander Schauffele, he's never missed a cut at a British Open. There's a lot of guys out there, and then of course you got Scheffler and Rory McIlroy and some of the big betting favorites.
Where do you think Rory McIlroy's mind is at, Mike? You know golf, the meltdown of the U.S. Open. Where's Rory, or is that just done? That's done.
I don't think it's totally done. There's always I've never missed a putt or a couple putts down the stretch for anything like he did. It takes a long time to wipe out some of those memories in golf. As golfers, we still remember shots that we hit, years ago, whether they're good or bad. Those are hard to overcome. Obviously, and putting has been a kind of an Achilles heel for Rory. So I don't think it's just over. He's one of the best ball strikers in the world. If he makes putts, he can win any given week. It's just a matter of if he's hot with the putter or not. And so,
but you're sounding like I'm not picking Rory. That's what you're sounding like.
I think he's going to finish. He's always going to be on the first round of the leaderboard because he hits it so good. But if he finds something on the green, you start making a couple putts and it makes you forget some of the ones you missed, he can get hot and he could be up there. But I would not pick Rory in this one.
All right. Mike Mendelson on. You said I haven't missed putts like that, like he missed. Why? Because you made all of yours? Is that what you're telling me?
No, because I've never played in the U.S. Open. That's what I was saying. Okay. I've missed plenty of putts, Nate.
I got you.
Not in the U.S. Open. I think if I missed a putt like that in the U.S. Open, I might be done. But he's a lot stronger mentally than I am.
I'm with you. I wanted to hit you on that. Mike Mendelson on tonight. Royal Troon. What do you think of the course overall? You great place.
Oh, all those courses. I would love to play. That's a bucket list item, right? To go over and play in Ireland and Scotland, and see some of those places. And I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet, but I'm hopeful to get over and play some of those courses. Just the history that's involved with these tournaments. You're talking champions that go back, well into the 1800s, and that's what is crazy about European history and golf history in Europe. So yeah, they're all special places.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. I said I got to get over there too. Mike Mendelson on tonight. He's at Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Get a tee time. It's the best public course in South Dakota up there in Spearfish. ElkhornRidgeResort.com. You can find it there. Mike Mendelson, the golf pro, on the British Open starting early tomorrow. Mike, good to have you as always. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Nate, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I always appreciate it. Mike Mendelson in, golf pro at Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Great course in Spearfish. If you haven't played that, ElkhornRidgeResort.com. Get a tee time, man. It's summer. Still got a lot of time left. This is really, really great course right there in Spearfish, all right? All right, Royal Troon went through some of the players. Who's gonna do it? Golf's so tough to pick. It is tough to pick. I know a lot of guys love doing the DraftKings and the picks. Really tough to pick. All right, Rory trying to make a comeback from the meltdown. Who's hot and who's not is in next. Division II sports, okay, like the RMAC, has name, image, and likeness come to the RMAC. That's on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Attention, please. The new loaded cheesy ranch sticks at Pizza Ranch are loaded with flavor. Skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs, spices, and now up to 2 of your favorite toppings like pepperoni, sausage, jalapenos, and bacon. You've really got to get a load of these. Like, literally, get a whole load of them. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Stop into your local Pizza Ranch with 2 Rapid City locations. Their buffet open daily 11 to 8 and order online at pizzaranch.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, buy to save. Here's a text from Devin in Denver. Hey Culligan, I'd love a water softener, but I don't want to pay for it. Devin, I can't help you there, but a Culligan high-efficiency softener can help you save oodles on energy and detergent, so the savings can be even greater than the cost. And I'm getting a mind-blown emoji followed by, yes please. Devin, the savings are already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right. Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live on a Wednesday. Packed show tonight. Good stuff. If you miss parts of the show, any show, search the Nate Brown Show wherever you get your podcast so you can listen to the show even if you can't catch all of it live. 4 to 6. We're on live weekdays 4 to 6. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Search the Nate Brown Show. Great guests tonight from South Dakota to the national coverage. We've got you covered. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, as always. PizzaRanch.com, where I go for the online specials right now. PizzaRanch.com. Carry out or delivery. The best, man. It's outstanding. The buffet's awesome. Lunch buffet open daily at 11. Then it goes into the dinner, open till 8 tonight. Best buffet in town. Pizza Ranch. When you don't want to cook, that's the number one buffet in town. Pizza Ranch. In my Who's Hot category tonight, well, this is interesting. Colorado State Pueblo. You know CSU Pueblo? They've had a great football team over the years, like national championship caliber out of the RMAC. So you've seen them here at School of Mines, Black Hill State. CSU Pueblo announcing a partnership with Icon Source. What's Icon Source? The leading digital marketplace connecting brands and athletes. NIL. Connecting brands and athletes. So basically CSU Pueblo put this out there today to their interested businesses and supporters. Hey, we're partnering with an NIL digital company to help student athletes with NIL. I mean, it's Division II. I'm like, Division II schools, a lot of them are just trying to survive and fund their programs, scholarships, and the whole thing. And now NIL at least coming to CSU Pueblo, an official partnership to help their student athletes with NIL at the D2 level. Wow. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, here you go. I hope you're all happy. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred has announced last night at the All-Star Game they will look to implement robot umps. Spring training 2025. Robot umps. Well, don't say I told you so. Don't complain. You're going to have robo-umps. He said, no, we're going to implement it, get some issues resolved. You know, we got to designate what the strike zone is and stuff like that. Well, yeah, let's start there, Rob. That's a good idea. Let's say actually have a designated strike zone. What if it's Aaron Judge as opposed to some of these shorter players? Okay? I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think. The umps get balls and strikes right enough. But robot umps, the automated ball and strike system launching its spring training this next year. I'm out. Back tomorrow. I just said I'm out. That's all. Back tomorrow at 4 on the Nate Brown Show. Thanks for listening. We'll be live here at 4. The Odd Couple's on right now.
College in a cornfield in Ohio. One guy went to an Ivy League school in the big